Will Arsenal beat PSG and qualify into the finals of the Champions League? Does Arsenal even stand a chance of beating PSG in France? Is it going to be a comeback for Arsenal? Is it going to be another disappointing night for Arsenal? These are some of the questions that most Arsenal fans are asking themselves right now, including myself. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is the match preview on this beautiful game of football, very competitive game of football between Arsenal and PSG on the Champions League semi-finals leg 2. And on this video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about the predicted score that is going to come out of this game. I'm also going to try and predict the lineup that Mikel Arteta is going to use on this game against PSG. I'll also talk a bit about the general expectations of Arsenal fans worldwide. Straight up, we are traveling to go to France to play with PSG, and it's going to be very tough. And in fact, the entire of this season, we've never faced a team that plays better than Arsenal, like what or how PSG plays. Try and check every game that we've played. We have controlled the game. We are in charge of the game. We call the shots on the game. But on this game that we played with PSG, the first leg, clearly we were outshined by PSG. Now, as we are going to France, most of the people would say, you know, we were outshined because our midfield was not 100% because of the lack of Thomas Partey being there. And now, as Thomas Partey is back on the pitch to play for Arsenal on the second leg, most people will tell you that, you know what, now, at least we have hopes that that midfield will try and control the game. And if it works to our advantage and we try and control the mid, then we have a chance of actually beating PSG. But if we allow them to control the midfield, is going to be very tough. Now, PSG is that sort of a team that plays a very not easily read game of football. You expect them to play like this, they play like this. They know how to man on, they know how to counter attack, they know how to defend, they know how to play from the midfield, they know how to spoil your moves, they know how to spoil everything, because their midfield is just on another level. And then their attack, especially the attacking front, that is in Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, and Doué, they are very good in, drifting towards whichever side that they want to drift. Very versatile. As we are going to play with PSG, this is basically a must-win game for Arsenal. This is that game that, we do not have no option but to win. Good thing is, it's only a 1-0 lead. And a 1-0 lead can, lead into anything. If Arsenal was to score the first on this game, it only means that game is on. Okay? Until the last minute, as long as Arsenal is not conceding, until the last minute, until towards even the last minute, Arsenal has got a chance. So Arsenal has to be the team that scores the first on this game. If we want to win this game, we must score the first. We must make sure that that first goal that we are scoring that is being scored on that game is coming from Arsenal. Otherwise, if it is them that will score, it's going to be very complicated and very tough for Arsenal. Another thing, we really need our players to show up for the team. This is that game that every player needs to fight for the badge. Every player needs to push. Every player needs to have that individual inbuilt zeal, trying to fight for the team, because this is the only cup that Arsenal is depending on. This is where the hopes are. The entire of this season, this is where the hopes are. This is that night, this Wednesday night on the Champions League, is that night that is going to be a make or break for Arsenal. It's either it's going to be a very, very, very good season for Arsenal, or rather it's going to be a very, very bad season for Arsenal. Depending on if Arsenal wins or doesn't win and does not qualify into the finals of the Champions League. Now, as you're going to play with them, I want to check and try and predict the predicted lineup that Mikel Arteta should go on with this game. And it's going to be very direct, and everybody will agree with me on this one. Goalkeeper David Raya, centre-backs Kiwior and Saliba, left-back Miles Lewis, amazing Skelly, right-back Timber. If he's not present, then we go with Ben White. But if he's present, let him play. CDM, Thomas Partey, Partey after Partey. We go with Declan Rice. Number 10, I was tempted not to put Odegaard but because of maturity and experience, I'm going to put Odegaard on this one. And I really hope that he's going to show up for the team this time round. And then up front, Bukayo Saka, number 7. Number 11, you go with Martinelli. And then Merino to finish to start as false 9. Okay? And then on the second half, we have chances of bringing Trossard and even the likes of Nwaneri on the pitch. Now, I've looked at that, I will try and predict the outcome of this game. I am predicting a 2-0 in favor of Arsenal. Yes, because I have to be hopeful for the team. I have to be hopeful for my team, Arsenal. My prediction is going to be 2-0 in favor of Arsenal. Or rather, if worst come to it all, a 1-0 in favor of Arsenal, and then we push into, the extra time. But, having I've looked at the prediction, the next question is this. What are the expectations of Arsenal fans worldwide? Number one, we don't want disappointment. We've been disappointed enough. Everybody is calling us Netflix FC, next season FC, so many unnecessary words because of how we finish. We start so well. So well. But towards the end of the seasons, that is where it gets tough and bad and worse. So we really hope that this time around we are going to finish better. Because like I've told you, this is going to be a make or break season for Arsenal. Game for Arsenal this Wednesday night on the Champions League. In fact, not only Arsenal, even Mikel Arteta, if you were to play and win this game, he was going to be one of the greatest managers that we've had as Arsenal manager. I'm telling you. Now, there is a lot of narratives out there and statistics, okay, don't lie. They show that Arsenal, for the last 6 semi-finals that we've played, we have actually not scored or even won the semi-finals. So expectation number 2 of Arsenal fans is that we break the narrative, we break those statistics and make sure we're winning this game. Another thing is that as you're going to play, let every player have that personal zeal, inbuilt zeal, to push and fight for the team. We really hope it's going to be another wonderful night and fight and go to the finals. Getting to the final on its own, it's going to mean that we will postpone that narrative of people talking about Netflix next season. And you never know what happens on the finals. So we really hope and wish that our team Arsenal is actually going to win this game, that we are going to push and make sure that we are qualifying because we need it. We need it now more than ever. Anyway, that has been my match preview on this beautiful game of football, very competitive for that matter, Arsenal versus PSG. What do you think about my predicted lineup? What do you think about my predicted score? You can actually drop your own predicted lineup. You can also drop your own predicted score in the comment section there so that you can keep the conversation going. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching from TikTok, remember just to drop a comment, like, and share. Facebook also, Instagram also. If you're watching from YouTube, please remember to subscribe. Thank you so much. Salute.